Hey, everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner, and I have a returning guest in the corner. Would you like to unveil your secret identity?
I'll think about it, but no, okay. I'm Erica Mendez, and I am a voice actress.
And it's so nice to have you on the show, and the timing is actually pretty amazing because we keep having Hunter x Hunter people on the show.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it just kind of happened that way. Last we talked to Keith,
Okay.
we got a little bit of the creepy in there, and
Oh, good.
yeah, now we get to talk to you. So that must be a super exciting, role to unveil to everybody and to hear the reactions of people.
Yeah, it's been really great. I mean, I've done a lot of really big and awesome stuff before then, but this show is the first really long running show I've ever been a part of. Well, I guess Sailor Moon, but I'm not as big of a part in Sailor Moon, technically, in like the grand scheme of things.
Hmm.
So, but this one I'm pretty much around for the whole time, I'm assuming. I haven't caught up yet, but it's a really good show so far from what I've seen.
Well, you are the main character, so I would hope
Yeah.
you're around. I hope it's not like Game of Thrones where they just
You
kill the
never
main character
know.
off. Yeah. But no, it's actually really interesting. I was telling Keith because he didn't know the creators of Hunter x Hunter and Sailor Moon are married.
Yeah, I knew that actually.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that." And I was like, "It's like, it's like 8 steps to insert voice actor."
Yeah. It's actually funny because a lot of people, tend to assume that that's so coincidental, or not as much of a coincidence as it actually is. The fact that a lot of us are in Sailor Moon and Hunter x Hunter, but they had like nothing to do with the casting as far as I understand. Like it's pretty much a coincidence.
Was it the same, recording studio? Is it both Bang Zoom?
No, Sailor Moon is at Studiopolis.
Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
So that's just really funny.
Yeah.
Well, so now that Hunter x Hunter, I was corrected on this. I always said Hunter Cross Hunter. Keith said it
Oh,
was Hunter x
really?
Hunter.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know until I was told, so I've just been saying it the way that it's apparently supposed to be said. So
yeah, but now that the first episode is aired, have you seen any reactions from fans and things like that?
yeah, it's actually been really good. I'm one of those people that like searches stuff like that, even though I shouldn't, because you never know what you're gonna come across. And I've come across a few like bad things, which is fine. People are entitled to their opinion, but I've actually seen a lot more positive than anything, and I was really surprised.
I actually have to ask, since not a lot of voice actors that I know of, search up that sort of thing. How do you deal with any of the negative reaction? Do you just go, oh, that's life, or you know?
Pretty much. I mean, there's some people that are a little bit meaner than they should be and like wish physical harm on certain people. And those are a little ridiculous. But as far as people like having opinions, I'm totally open. Like if people think something's bad, as long as they have a good reason for thinking why it, or, saying why it's bad, then I'm totally okay with it and I understand it because everybody has different ears. So there are things that I don't like that I'll tell people that, oh, there's something wrong with that to my ear. But then other people will be like, no, that sounds fine, Erica. What are you talking about? And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just weird then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, jumping around a little bit, I know you made a statement about Love Live,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
because not only are you a huge fan, because thanks, I don't know how many people you've gotten into the game. You got me
I
into the
don't even
game.
know. Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I know I got a few of the girls in the show into the game before we even auditioned. So
Yeah, so not only were you a fan of the game, and so I'm assuming some of the other media as well, it felt really heartfelt, your response to some of the reactions to that.
yeah, for that, I kind of understand it a little bit more why a lot of people were feeling the way that they felt about it because some people were kind of like neutral about it and they weren't sure how to feel. But for Love Live, it was a lot different because the Seiyu basically are their characters in that franchise because they do the live shows, they do like everything for those characters. They dress up as the characters practically, and we obviously don't do that over here because it's not our culture to do it. But I just wish more people would kind of understand that we're not trying to replace those people, you know, because I love the Seiyu so much. I keep up with so many of the live show performances and everything, and I follow Twitter accounts to like see the stuff. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people take more offense to that stuff than they should, and we're just trying to, you know, make it available to more people so that, you know, either people that just enjoy dubs or people that maybe, I've seen people who say that, you know, they know people that have dyslexia, that it makes it so much easier for them to watch dubs than to watch subs so they can enjoy the stuff too.
Yeah, and I have to say, as someone who favors dubs, there are certain types of shows that I prefer subtitled.
Mhm.
Like, but if it's an action show, for example, I want to hear the dub. I don't want to be greedy,
Yeah,
and I want to pay attention.
exactly.
So it really frustrates me as a consumer when there are people who are like, well, they just shouldn't have a dub. Like they should just release one without it. It's like it
Right.
doesn't hurt you if it's a part of the package. Like if you still get the subtitled version, why are you wishing away my enjoyment?
Exactly. Like if you don't like the dub isn't being made for you, obviously. Don't ruin the enjoyment for other people that do happen to like it.
Yeah. But it's really interesting though. I remember talking with Laura Post about Love Live. We scheduled her literally on like the day it aired, and we had no idea.
Oh,
It just ended up working that way. She's like, I hope we never have to sing because I'm not a good singer.
yeah.
Are you? Would you like to do any singing portions for a show like that, or is that just off the table?
For Love Live, I don't think I could have done it. Like, I'm not a terrible singer, but I'm not like the best singer. I'm not like Christina V or Erica Lindbeck is like a terrific singer. Even Faye Mata, who plays Reen in Love Live, is like really good. But I don't think I could carry a singing show like that, especially as a character like Nico, because my voice is more of like sort of the alto range, and she's more high pitched. And I've tried to sing in character as her just on my own free time, and it just doesn't turn out.
I'm sure a fan somewhere is going to bug you on Twitter, being
Of
like, "Can you
course.
release it,
Of
please?"
course, I'm sure. And I'll be like, you don't want that. You really don't want that. You may think you do, but you don't.
But yeah, no, it's really interesting, I think, to hear about that sort of thing. Because obviously voice actors are humans too, and some voice actors just don't want to talk about the negative aspect; they just want to ignore it. So it's always interesting for me to hear when you guys are willing to talk about it. So.
Yeah, I try to ignore it, but it's just too hard. Sometimes it comes to me, like the negative stuff comes to me, and I'm like, and I just, yeah, it's hard to ignore it sometimes.
Well, you are very active on Twitter and
Yeah,
Facebook too. So,
yeah, I try.
for the fans out there that want to, stalk you in a nice way on Twitter and Facebook, what are those?
My Twitter is Sunderica, so it's the word tsundere mashed up with my name. So it's Stunderica. And my Facebook fan page, specifically my fan page, I have a lot of people that try to add me on my personal page, and I have a fan page for that. Nothing against people, but some aspects of my life I like to keep private.
Mhm.
Um, but my fan page is, I believe, Erica Mendez VO. So if you look that up, it should come up. Or if you just type in probably Erica Mendez voice actress, it'll probably be there too.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, the URL for that is Erica Mendez voice.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
always get confused
No, you're fine.
with those two.
That's why I have it all pulled up.
Thank you. You're prepared. I'm not.
No, you're good. But you do a lot of live tweeting too for shows
Yeah.
that are airing, which it seems like the trend now. But I remember you being one of the first voice actors I saw doing it.
I was actually talking about this with Patrick Seitz, and I think he was saying that he and somebody else, I can't remember who, were kind of the first to pioneer that. But it definitely has been becoming a bigger thing. And I try to do it as much as I can, but sometimes it gets a little difficult when things are on at, 3 o'clock in the morning and I want to go to bed. Or sometimes I just find it really hard to think of clever things to say. So I feel like I'm being annoying by just tweeting random things that are happening in the show. But I've had so many people at conventions who come up to me and say like how grateful they are that, me and other people do that, because it's a really good way to be interactive with the fans, I think.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of our fans, talk about it. Like they specifically wait to watch an episode of something,
Oh, that's
just so they can watch it with basically the voice actor,
yeah, that's so cool.
which I think is really cute. It's like a sleepover, but you don't
Yeah.
actually have to like stock food or
A
anything.
virtual sleepover,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I love seeing all the comments that come in. I actually sometimes I'll find myself reading my notifications page more than I actually like think of things to tweet because a lot of the things that come in from other people are so much more clever than what I have to say.
Well, that means that you can retweet them and your job is done.
Exactly.
But for the fans out there, I know I've kind of delayed the Sailor Moon aspect, which I feel like I have to talk about it. I'm a big Sailor Moon fan myself, and that must be such a neat role to get. I would feel like that Sailor Moon is such a cult classic. Just to be in it would be really amazing.
Yeah, I actually I grew up in the Midwest, so it would always come on right before I came home from school, and I never wanted to watch, the middle of an episode because I didn't know what was going on.
Hmm.
And I never really got a chance to watch it when I was younger, and it was airing on Toonami or whatever the block was called at that point. And but I knew a lot of people that loved it, so I always knew about it and I didn't get to actually watch it until the new dub came out. But sometimes I forget to talk about it with people or at panels because it's still so. I mean, it doesn't help that our season isn't out yet. Sailor Moon S isn't out yet, but
Hmm.
just just even trying to like bring it to my mind that I'm in such a classic series that's so nostalgic for so many people is just I don't know. I just forget that it's reality sometimes.
No, I could see that. I mean, I've told a lot of people like a lot of my morals and things literally came from that show.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Because, it's such a feel-good show and it has so many positive messages for women and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's something that, as a kid, I really cherished it and I still cherish it to today. If my Sailor Moon wallet means anything, my old grungy Sailor Moon wallet, that's a good example. But
So
but you get to be a really interesting character that in the manga. Let's get all deep here. In the manga, Neptune says at one point it's a character that has both male and female characteristics.
mhm.
So you get to be a character that represents, both spectrums.
Yeah, I think it's cool because I haven't experienced. Well, they're just coming out with Crystal stuff, and I've been trying to watch it because I haven't read the manga, and it's nice to see the kind of contrast between the two series.
Hmm.
Um, and I noticed that in Crystal, they're definitely referring to Haruka more as a guy more often than not, and they haven't done that reveal yet. Where in the classic series, they're in the arcade, and at the end of the episode, they're like, "Oh my God, it's a girl!" And then Haruka's like, "Well, I never said I was a guy, so whatever." And I don't. It's just so cool because she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't care what anybody thinks of her. She's just her. So I don't know. I've never played a character like her before, and it's a really interesting experience, I think. And I really, really love Haruka. She's so cool. Like the person I always wish I was, but never could be.
You wish you could, we're a super runner and like motorbikes and
Yeah,
like
had my own helicopter.
yeah, there you go, that too. Forgot about that part.
How could you?
I don't know, she just is so, she pulls swords out of things and like she's got a lot of characteristics. You kind of forget them all.
Yeah, that's true. She's kind of the perfect like human, I think.
Well, also that role you have to play, pretty tight knit with. I'm assuming you guys record separately, but you have to play pretty tight knit with Sailor Neptune
Yeah.
because of their relationship.
Yeah, I actually heard there are a few people who had asked us if we had recorded together because I guess in the previous iterations in various language, um, the two actresses always recorded together to kind
Yes.
of get that dynamic, which I thought was cool. I don't know how we would have done it, just because I'm so used to doing anime alone. And it's like a very technical process, so it's hard to think how that would work with all the like beeps and like knowing when to go, and not step over each other's lines. But if we could do that, like I'd love to try it. We've wrapped on the season, so it'd be too late to try to ask if we could do that at this point. But I think because of the show, me and Lauren have actually become a lot closer of friends. So it's really cool. She was actually just over last night, so we hung out and just talked for like hours, you know?
That's really cool. Yeah. Actually, funny story when we were talking to Barbara Radecki, who was the voice of Sailor Neptune
Oh,
in the original, she's the one who spilled that on our show about them recording in the same room. Nobody knew that
oh, really?
until our interview with her. So that was really cool to find out
Yeah.
because I mean back then they were using tape in what is it Revno Band
Oh,
is what.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So I assume it was much harder then than it would be now, to be honest.
Yeah. Huh.
It's yeah, fun fact for all the fans out there who like Sailor Moon. And what I find really interesting too is you keep up on almost every show that you're involved in, which I assume is really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I try to as much as I can. I've been being a lot slower about it, and I'll usually just watch like the few episodes between like what we're recording at the time. Like with Kill la Kill and Magi, I watched the entire seasons of what was available before we even recorded, or sometimes even before the auditions go out, just to kind of get for the a feel for the characters if I have a feeling that the show's going to be dubbed, or if I do get the auditions at that point. But now I tend to kind of want to experience the journey with the characters, so I don't binge watch as much as I used to. And it's definitely a different experience because I don't know what's coming. For Hunter x Hunter, I've been slowly kind of trudging through it, but it tends to get a lot more real reactions when it comes to doing scenes with Hisoka, because I actually don't like clowns. I'm not deathly afraid of them, but I don't like being near them. And Hisoka is so creepy, and a lot of the like gasps and kind of hyperventilation that Gon has to do during I have to do some during some of those sessions. A lot of that is like me actually like, okay, all right, gee, there's a creepy clown like trying to kill me. What do I do? Like,
And Keith actually said that he's quite sexual, and they were
oh
surprised that they
God,
kept some of the
yes,
things in.
yes. Oh,
So not only is it a clown, but it's a very sexual clown.
yeah, it's I've heard more than what I've had to record around, and he just sounds so good, but it's also just so creepy. I can't wait for people to get to hear them and just to be able to hear all those scenes play out throughout the episode when those come up on Toonami. But oh my God, it's I get chills every time, and I text him or not text him, but I'll message him every time I hear something that gives me chills.
Are you yelling at him like, "Gosh darn you! Why do you have to be like
Sometimes I think I
so
did.
weird?"
We were both at the Year Line April wrap party, and I'm pretty sure I was like, Keith, oh my God, you were so creepy, but it's so good. He's like, oh, thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't say that's what the ladies always tell me or something
Oh,
like that.
honestly, I feel like that's something he would do.
We love you, Keith, wherever you are. But no, I really think it's interesting because that's something that's really struck me about you is that you're so into um, you know what character you're you know playing because a lot of people they say they can't go back and watch their work because they're like they just pick at everything that they did wrong and that they want to
Yeah,
do better. So
I totally get that because I still do it. I'm trying to get better about it just because it's like, well, you know, the producer didn't like it or the director didn't like it, they wouldn't have kept it in there. So obviously somebody thought it was good and I should stop worrying about it. But I mean, I'd probably watch it regardless because I come from the background of being, a big fan of anime. Um, so it's just something that's kind of ingrained in me a little bit, and I don't want to stop, being a fan of really cool animation.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Like, and so that must be really nice when you go to cons and things like that because you can still kind of enjoy everything about it, and you can
Yeah.
check out the exhibitor hall and things like that, and actually be like, "Ooh, I want this and this and
Yeah,
this."
I spend way too much money still, and not just on like stuff of my characters, because I pretty much have everything by the time I go to conventions. So I end up not buying stuff of my characters and just buy presents for other people.
Oh yeah. I do that a lot. Like my big thing is I usually buy like a plushie every time I go to a con. I don't know why. It's not like I
Okay,
have any place to put them. But
exactly.
but my brother has three little girls. So I love when I can find like three different plushies, like smaller
Oh,
ones that I can like that are different colors. Like the last ones I bought were like three different colored foxes and
oh,
I brought them back for them. So
that is so cute. I
they
did
had
that.
they had a fight over which one would get the green one, but what
Oh, yeah, I did something like that for um, David Vincent's daughter. He said that he was looking for like a little plush bunny for her, and I was like, oh, okay. So I went and I found one, and then I surprised him with it at the end of I think we were at NecoCon, and he really appreciated that. And he keeps sending me pictures of her with the bunny, and it's so cute.
Oh, that's adorable. I have a bunny one that I see everywhere, and I've been trying to get the white one, the white
Oh,
plushie, and like it used to be $35, and now every con I go to, it's like $70, and I'm like,
oh
hmm,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think I can justify this purchase.
yeah. It's hard sometimes.
But for the fans out there that want to meet you at conventions, do you have any coming up?
Do I?
Do I have?
I have a bunch. They're all on my website, and I actually have my website open right now. So I'll list just what the cons are, and then whoever is interested can search them on their own, because then the spiel will just go on forever. But I'm going to Anime Central, which is really exciting because that's my hometown convention. I'm going to MomoCon after that, and then Anime Next, then HamaCon, then Kineticon, then OmniCon, then KitaCon, and then SabutenCon. And there's a bunch in between there and after that that I haven't been able to announce yet. So keep an eye out for those on my social media pages.
Very exciting. And
Yeah.
for anybody that wants, Erica's official website, if you could say the URL, I'm also going to link it in our live chat.
Yeah, it's a little bare right now, but it's ericamendezvoice.com.
And the live chat has it, so go at it, vultures. I mean, what? I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
it's a simple website, but I mean, if people ever want to know everything I'm in, my resume's there and my bio and whatever. So
Yeah, there
it
you
does what it needs to.
exactly. Well, for the fans out there, are there any other projects that you want to pimp out to them? Anything that's coming out that you can talk about?
Oh, I mean, the big thing we kind of talked about is Hunter x Hunter on Toonami, and at least by the time we record this, the episode will be airing the next day. I don't know when you're putting this up, but every Saturday at 1, I believe, is the time. And then whenever Sailor Moon S comes out, I have no idea, but keep an eye out for that. And Your Lie in April is on Netflix. That was a pretty recent addition. And yeah, those are all the recent things I can think of. There's so much, like so much of the stuff I'm in is available on Netflix and Crunchyroll. It's so awesome that I think companies are kind of moving towards the streaming service stuff. So
Yeah, it's really interesting too, because Netflix is really kind of dipping their feet into a lot of different avenues right now too.
yeah.
So I'm kind of curious if it'll keep up or if they'll go, man, this is hard work. This sucks. So we'll see what happens. We just
Yeah.
get to watch from the sidelines. Well, no, thank you very much for joining us again and keeping us up to date with what you've been up to and talking about your experiences. And but before we let you go, is there anything you want to tell the fans? Any words of wisdom, dating advice, predictions for the end of the world?
Just I feel like this is what I usually say, but just, thanks for all your support, and not just to me, but to, all the companies. If you're, legally streaming or purchasing things, and all the other voice actors that I work with, and even the ones I don't work with that are amazing, and just keep supporting us because I want the anime industry to keep, and the video game industry to just keep striving and being amazing so we can keep getting such amazing things coming to us.
We definitely agree with that. I mean, we did exist just to promote legal means to watch anime.
That
So
is so awesome.
yeah, so yeah, make sure to get your Crunchyroll or your Funimation VIP or your Netflix or your Hulu. I mean, there's so many options at this point that it's a little overwhelming, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But thank you once again for joining us, and for any of the fans that missed any of this interview, don't fret, you can find it on the website within the next few days, so keep your eyes peeled to 918thefan.com and your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.